Good evening. Welcome to the Shaker Museum Gala 2020. I'm Paul Cassidy, Board Chair. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the Gala Committee, thank you for joining us and including us in your bubble. While we can't gather tonight at the historic site at Mount Lebanon, I'm glad we can come together here in community. A very Shaker idea. Tonight, we celebrate inclusion. It is a value embodied by the Shakers and one that guides the museum. It is also a value that is exemplified by our two honorees, filmmaker Lacey Schwartz Delgado and actor and activist Alan Cumming. We identified inclusion as tonight's theme almost a year ago. Today, we need unity to heal from this global pandemic, and also to heal from the issues of racism and inequality that are part of our national legacy. The Shakers were always about inclusion. They show us what's best about America. Truly a New York story. Imagine, at the dawn of America, an immigrant community, family of one's choosing, travels up the Hudson River Valley seeking religious freedom to live their best lives. At Mount Lebanon, the Shakers built a culture of inclusion. That meant recognizing women as equal and full participants, welcoming people of color during a time of slavery, and valuing the work of all people of all abilities. In 2018, we started investigating what it would mean to create a new home for the Shaker Museum to share our unparalleled collection of objects and archives with the public. We have received astonishing generous donations, both large and small, as well as a major grant from the Empire State Development Corp. This early support has allowed to get us started. So I'm happy to share with you, we have purchased the building downtown Chatham, and we are now in the planning phase of the museum. Together with our site at Mount Lebanon, this new museum will share the ideals of the Shaker through the objects they've made. Later tonight, you will hear from our Executive Director, Lacey Schwartz, who has some even more exciting news to share with you. Lacey leads our small but mighty institution with tremendous grace. More than ever, we are relying on our support systems. The Shaker Museum is committed to being one of those support systems. To learn more about how to get involved, volunteer, and donate, please visit our website at shakerml.org. I hope you will consider joining us on this journey. We truly are grateful for every member of our community.
I already forgot which one it was. Usually when you introduce the topic of Shakers to people, they know two things. They know that they were celibate and that they made chairs. The truth is that the Shakers thrived for 150 years. At the end of the 18th century, they were advocating equality for women. It was really quite extraordinary for the time.
The Shaker community was made up of a tremendous diversity of people. They really found a way to respect one another and to build community that lasted and created such lasting beauty through their values that they left us, furniture, the design.
When you start understanding the Shakers and what they were involved in, it's a unique utopian society.
The Shaker Museum was founded in Old Chatham. The plan is to build a future museum where we can exhibit our collection. The collection has been in storage for about 10 years and only accessible through private appointment.
John Williams, who founded the museum, he didn't want just the amazing showpieces. He wanted evidence of how they lived, earned a living, what they did with their time.
They were people who wanted to learn the most progressive and the most scientific and advantageous ways to do things. This is a beam auger that was made in 1851.
I can't wait till the point where we have a museum where we can show all of these objects to the public because it's quite a remarkable collection. I first saw this building in January of 2018. And at that point, it was really hard to imagine taking on such a big project. We finally closed on the building in January of 2020. And the progress that we've made since then has been extraordinary.
It'll be really exciting to me as a Chatham resident just to see the building being used for such a good purpose.
There's such a vibrant local business community. We are really excited to be able to partner with them to drive traffic to the Shaker Museum and to their businesses.
Quite honestly, many times when we bring on a new project, you get a lot of fear and questions, and I'm hearing nothing but good things.
There's nothing as big as this museum that's going to be in this neighborhood. So I just feel that this is going to have such an impact that people will be intrigued to come to Chatham, and they'll be intrigued to come to the Shaker Museum.
I'm going to be at the opening. I can't wait. I want to be there and see that ribbon cut.
The most important intention I have for the Shaker Museum is to build a museum from the ground up that responds to our needs as a community and as a people in the 21st century.
If there was ever a time that I think we need to teach kids about social justice and equity and gender, this is a compelling time to be trying to provide that service. So I look forward to having my great nieces and nephews come here.
We are about the community. We are about history and respecting it. And I think that that's something that will be in the future beyond us all.
The Shakers embody the best of what we imagine about ourselves as Americans. They were inclusive, they had integrity in all of their dealings, they had conviction, and my intention is to have a museum where the objects tell that story and they help us to be better at those things.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Mary Jo Gibson. I'm here tonight to introduce one of your honorees, Lacey Delgado. I first want to thank the Shaker Museum for putting on this wonderful gala and to send the message and the story of the Shakers through furniture, architecture, and values. Values of inclusion, innovation, integrity, and conviction, all of which are embodied in this honoree that I'm going to talk about right now. We become friends, Lacey and I, through our spouses who are members of Congress. It has been wonderful to develop this friendship. I see what a dedicated spouse she is to her husband, Congressman Antonio Delgado, and to their 2 children. And she takes that same dedication into the community with her conviction and her commitment to social justice, truth, and change. She is an award-winning producer, director, and writer. She's a co-founder of Truth Aid. She also has done a documentary that is critically acclaimed, Little White Lie. She is an amazing person, always speaking the truth and encouraging others to speak the truth. She is welcoming, accepting, and authentic, and it's truly a great honor for her to get this award tonight. Congratulations, Lacey Schwartz Delgado. Enjoy the evening.
First and foremost, thank you, Mary Jo, for that incredibly warm and lovely introduction. Your friendship has meant so much to me over these past almost 2 years. When I first met Mary Jo, she immediately became a friend and really a mentor to me. She said something to me in early 2019 that very much stuck with me, in saying that she knew that in this new role of my life as being a political spouse, something I had honestly never imagined before for myself, that I would find my voice and that she had confidence in me. From the first time we met and she watched my film, she reached out immediately, started connecting me into people in the community that she knew would benefit from hearing my story and from my work. I'm very grateful to say that because thanks to her, we're going to be doing a workshop next month with the National Association of Social Work on focusing on my personal documentary, Little White Lie, and on race and inclusion. Which brings me to the Shaker Museum. Thank you so much for this honor tonight. I think at this time in particular, there's so much we can gain from learning from those who came before us. In these incredibly challenging times when sometimes you can feel very much alone in the struggles that the pandemic and other challenges are presenting us, you can feel almost like there's no one else who's out there for you. And to learn from not only what the Shakers did, but what they intended to do, what they strove for, and the conversations that they introduced into their community, that the Shaker Museum is carrying on today, is incredibly touching. I know each and every one of us have moments where we feel like we don't belong, that we feel like we are not included in the communities or the places that we live in. And at this moment, I know that I am dedicated to the fact that we are all so interconnected, and we have to reach out and touch those of us in our community and make sure that every single human being knows that they belong in our community. You know, when I was born in 1977 in Kingston Hospital, only really an hour away from the museum, give or take, I really didn't know about all of the history, even as a child, that had happened so close to me. You know, I grew up knowing about the history of Sojourner Truth in Kingston, about us having a long history of the capital of New York State. But in terms of all these little pockets of communities that have in the past come together through challenging times, have come together with ideals that they believed in, that carries me through, because I know that here in upstate New York, that we are continually dedicated to continuing that work and continuing to really strive to meet the challenges that society has put out for us. In my work, I frequently include my own personal stories and also very intimate stories of the different characters and individuals that I feature in those films and TV shows. But as a writer, director, producer, really the people I'm thinking about the most are the audience. I'm wondering, when you come out of watching my story, how are you going to be thinking about you and your own? When we think about this idea of how we are all striving to be free, to be healthy, really that depends on our interconnectedness. And I really am inspired by learning and knowing about the work that the Shakers did in the past to have those conversations, to try to bring those ideals and those values to the forefront. I'm proud of the work that we are doing here in upstate New York to bring our stories forward, to have these conversations, to represent all of the individuals that live here, and to really make sure that in these most trying of times that we are taking care of ourselves and we're taking care of each other's. I know this was not as we intended to be, but I just want to say congratulations to Alan Cumming, and also my co-honoree, and say thank you for bringing the incredible energy and music to this evening. Even when we can't be under the same tent together, I really know how much we are all still connected and dedicated to making our area and this world a better place. So thank you, and I hope you have a great evening.
Thank you, Lacey. We're in for a real treat now. A performance by the Magnetic Fields of a song based on a Shaker hymn. It was originally written in the 1980s, but performed by Stephen Merritt for the first time in 2017 in a benefit for the Shaker Museum. It appears on their new album, Quickies, and Stephen Merritt recently reminded us it borrows heavily from Alan Lomax's Folk Songs of North America. Welcome to the Magnetic Fields.
and sing their favorite song. Our sound spins us around. There is no break. Voices long ago drowned, now sound again. Come life, shaker life, come life eternal. Shake, shake out of me all that is carnal. I'll take nimble steps, I'll be a David. I'll show Michael twice, I'll be David. Come life, shaker life, come life eternal. Shake, shake out of me all that is carnal. I'll take nimble steps, I'll be a David. I'll show Michael twice, I'll be David. Come life, shaker life, come life eternal. Shake, shake out of me all that is carnal.
Welcome, bienvenue, welcome. That's it. That's all I got. You didn't think I was actually going to sing it for you, did you? I know. It's incredibly disappointing. I'm sorry. Hi, everyone. How you doing in this virtual world? I'm Josh Charles, and I am here and have the privilege of introducing one of tonight's honorees for the Shaker Museum Inclusion Gala, my friend, the great Alan Cumming. I had the privilege of working with Alan for 5 seasons on The Good Wife, both as an actor and also got to direct Alan a few times, so was able to witness his brilliance from behind the camera as well. But I'm not here to talk about how brilliant Alan is. I think we all know that. That's a given. I'm here because I can't think of a more fitting honoree for an inclusion gala and for what the Shaker Museum stands for than Alan. Getting to know him over those years, I was always struck by his humor, first and foremost, his compassion, his curiosity. He always had such a genuine interest in not just me, but you could see anyone he was talking to and who they are and where they came from and where they are right now. And his just utter kindness for all that are lucky enough to be in his presence. He radiates warmth, joy, and inclusion. Doesn't take an invite to Club Cumming to know that all are welcome in the world of Alan. So it is with great privilege that I am able to say to my friend, colleague, activist, Alan Cumming, I am not wearing any pants right now. That is actually true. It is the beauty of agreeing to do a virtual benefit ad. This is all I got, and I just wanted to let Alan know that. That's all. That got weird. That got really weird. But anyway, Alan, I'm gonna pass it on to you and just let you know that I adore you. I send my love to Grant, and you are, to me, I would honor you in any way I could. And I'm so happy that the Shaker Museum is honoring you tonight. And I'm honored that I could be a small part of it, even though I'm not wearing pants. I almost want to stand up so that people could see that it's not a bit, that I'm not. But again, I digress. Alan, you're brilliant. You are an absolutely beautiful human being, and I adore you. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the great Alan Cumming.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I'm really grateful for this honor. When I was first approached about it, I didn't really know anything about Shakers and Shakerism. I knew a few movers and Shakers, but I did some reading, and I kind of realized perhaps why you've asked me to be honored in this way, and I'm very gratified, because I think many of the tenets of Shakerism, the important things like equality and inclusion and dignity and respect for all, are absolutely things that I completely feel passionately and have spent a lifetime trying to proselytize about. So I'm really grateful to be aligned with you in that way. You know, I have this bar, which obviously is closed right now, called Club Cumming, and it's an interesting thing that when it was about to open, it's a cabaret bar, and I wanted it to sort of express my spirit and the things I believed in. I'd had parties after my concerts and in my dressing room after shows, and I called it Club Cumming, and it became a sort of a movement, almost a religion, and I wanted to try and sort of distill that spirit and that sensibility and put it into a venue so that more people could experience it. So what I did was, just before it opened, I was asked by a newspaper to make a comment about it. And I realized if I did this properly, I could actually sort of, in a way, dictate the spirit of the bar. Because what I think is interesting, if you tell people how you want a bar or an atmosphere or a working environment or a culture to be, if you put that out there into the world, hopefully, and in this case it did work, people will hear that and they will bring it and manifest it. And so it was an incredibly gratifying thing for me to say I wanted this place to be a sense of community for all ages, all genders, all sexualities. I wanted people to have fun and to talk to new people and to see things they might never have seen, to be provoked, but also to know that they were safe and to feel that they were part of a family and a community. And that happened. And the lesson I take from that is that if you go out into the world being positive about your message, and if it's a message that is about bringing people together, then it can happen. And so right now in our history, when there is so much division, and we are also apart from each other because of social distancing and everything, I think more than ever, it's really important to put positive messages out to the world and to be optimistic about our future. And I think this time of being away from everything, of introspection and meditation, and understanding how our behavior affects others can only be a good thing for when we all come back together. It's going to make us better people and make us a better culture. So that's my hope. I think it really is aligned with Shakers. And I really am glad that you've decided to honor me tonight. And I hope we'll actually get to raise a glass in real life sometime in the future. Thank you very, very much. Congratulations to Lacey too. And I'll see you later for a little virtual dance.
Well, that was incredibly charming. Thank you, Alan. Hi, I'm Lacey Schwartz, Executive Director of Shaker Museum. I'm so glad you're all here with us tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed the evening so far. In his remarks, our board chair, Paul Cassidy, promised that I would share some more exciting news. As you've heard, we've purchased a building in Chatham, New York that will be the new year-round home for Shaker Museum. I'm thrilled to announce that we've selected Annabelle Seldorf and Seldorf Architects to design the new museum. Competition for the commission was keen, and we were moved and humbled to see a number of thoughtful proposals. We chose Seldorf because of her deep understanding of the Shaker aesthetic and her thoughtful and forward-thinking approach to designing cultural and art spaces. She designed the Neue Gallery in New York City, Rebel Museum in Miami, part of the renovation of the Clark Art Institute in Williamstown, Massachusetts, and buildings for the Luma Foundation's new Contemporary Art Center in France. She's also doing the current renovation of the Frick in New York City, so we're in very good company. Annabelle and her team have already proven to be adroit and sensitive partners, with a deep understanding of our desire to create an environment that embodies the Shaker's values of inclusion, innovation, and integrity. In that space, we will not just show Shaker material culture, but gather together as a community to learn, engage, and strengthen civic and personal bonds. Seldorf Architects has also brought on the landscaped architects Nelson Bird Waltz to create a public park around the new building that carries on the Shaker traditions of environmental sustainability. Nelson Bird Waltz has worked with Olana just down the road, as well as the Rothko Chapel in Houston, the Berkshire Botanical Garden, and many other organizations. Amidst all this great news, I want to pause and acknowledge that it's a strange moment to feel such optimism for the future. The national and global challenges of the pandemic are critical, as is the social upheaval here in the United States, as we all try to chart a path forward to a better, more harmonious, more equitable society. But to me, the Shakers provide inspiration every day. They're an intrinsic part of American history, and they demonstrate how diverse people can come together and live in union with one another, create sustainable communities, and bring intention and integrity to daily tasks, large and small. Looking to the past, it gives me hope and confidence for the future. I hope you will be there in both the near and the distant future, because we can't do it without you. 2 very generous donors have pledged to match every donation the museum receives through this gala, up to $10,000. We are supremely grateful for all gifts, big or small. Click the link below to donate, or visit our website at shakerml.org to find out more. And if you're in Chatham this summer or fall, stop by our storefront exhibition, Shakers in Community, from Friday through Monday.